Kevo back again. Now, I did my top 10 a while back, and when I think about it, there was so many games that got really close to getting into my top 10, but just didn't quite manage it. And I thought I'm going to do a few videos talking about some of those games that didn't quite make it. And one of those is Arkanoid. Arkanoid is a real classic arcade game for me. It came out in 1986, 1987. I remember playing it in a kebab shop. I think it was in Streatham somewhere when I lived in London. And I'd go and get my kebab and have a few games of Arkanoid. And it was a really, really brilliant game. A real sort of jump up, if you like, from the Atari Breakout, which was out much earlier. But Taito did a really, really brilliant job with this. And this version is on the Commodore 64. And what I'm going to show you today is I'm just going to brief sort of look at the game, a brief chat about the game while we look at the different screens. 33 screens, and then you had the final boss. Do was his name, D-O-H. But yeah, a fantastic game. Let's have a look at it. So Arkanoid, real classic, made by Taito, and apparently two teams at Taito, two design teams, were put up against each other in competition to see who could design the best sort of breakout game, similar to the Atari one. And one team prevailed with this class version. Absolutely brilliant. We're getting through the screens here, already on screen 3. I obviously played with unlimited lives because I don't think it would be possible to do the game without the unlimited lives, because it's a really tough game. There's the old Space Invader, you know, I always remember that, you know, that screen. I think I probably managed to get to that screen when I was in the old kebab shop in Streatham, but you'd make your way through the screens. There was 3 balls there. When I used to get hit with 3 balls quickly, I would usually lose them all, as I did there. So I'm making our way through. That was quite a simple one. It's like a big ball, so that was quite easy. But then you got to these screens where there's loads of blocks that were impossible to break. They just stayed there. So you somehow had to be lucky with the ball bouncing in between and getting through to the middle blocks, which was tough. But, you know, as I said, I wouldn't be able to do it without the unlimited lives. This one was really tricky because you had to get the ball up in that little gap over there in the top left hand corner. I managed to do it, but the good thing is once that ball was in, it got rid of most of the blocks. This one was quite tough as well because there's only 1 or 2 blocks that would disappear eventually, but we got there in the end. This one's another one. Again, you just had to get up in that little gap in the top left there. Once you got through there, you'd make your way through. So up to 13 now. This is quite a standard screen, and occasionally I got the break. Obviously the power-ups drop down. You'll all probably know the game. The power-ups drop down. That was a break. If you get a break, a B, you can go straight through to the next level. But I used to really enjoy it. Now this level rather, was really tough. I found this one the hardest. But eventually got through it. This one again, you got impenetrable bricks right up the middle, so it wasn't too hard. I got another break, so I zipped through that time. But yeah, 17 screens now. So this game, as I say, in the kebab shop in Streatham, used to wait for my kebab and sink the rest of my money into this game, and it was great times really. I think it must have been, yeah, late 80s. They also had a Galaxian arcade machine in there, which is obviously earlier, but they had that one in there, and that's how I'd while away my time. But a real top game. As I said, 2 design teams against each other. One of the design teams prevailed and they went with this version. Absolutely brilliant. And then the conversions onto the consoles, etc. And this one on the Commodore 64, really brilliant version, I think. Fantastic music. When we get to the music where we finish the game, I'll keep that in for a while because that's a nice bit of music, and you know, as I say, it's nice to have the music for games because I'm an absolutely big fan of music, as I've said so many times. That one as well, you had to find that little gap. Once you managed to get the ball through that little gap, it made things a lot easier on that one. This one was tough as well. Only the 3 blocks at the top there could be broken. They'd have to be hit 3 or 4 times before they disappear, giving you a chance to get through that level. This one was very tough as well, because as you can see, the bricks there at the bottom, they need blasting 4 or 5 times or whatever. How many times, I wasn't sure, but I got there in the end. So we're getting there now. 28, 29, you know what? Imagine if you were able to get to this level without any help, without unlimited lives. I absolutely don't know if it's possible. There's probably someone out there who's done it. Now I'm playing not with a paddle. Now I'm going to try and get myself a paddle on the Commodore 64 because this game is so much easier if you've got the paddle. As you say, if you've got the paddle, it's just you just got a lot more control. With the joystick or the keyboard, it's tricky. And there it was, the final boss. Oh! Looks like he's got a polo neck jumper on, doesn't it? But I managed to do quite skills here, some nice skills to actually, these little bits that come down, rather than you can destroy them by bumping into them, they destroy you, so you have to avoid them. You've got to bounce that ball against Doe a few times for him to die, and eventually manage it. A few bits of skill, dodging the sort of things that are coming down. And I eventually got there, and I'm very happy to do so. So here's the sort of music for when you finish the game. I'll increase the volume a little bit and we'll listen to that. So there we go, the ending music, and there's the sort of spiel you get when you finish the game. Well happy. So that was Arkanoid. What a game. I left you a little bit of the ending music because, you know, you don't often hear the ending music to these games, the sort of once you've completed the game. But yeah, back in that kebab shop back in the day, used to get my kebab, or while I was waiting for my kebab, I'd have a few games of Arkanoid, and it truly is a classic. And I'm going to put the music from the start of the game at the end of this video, as I often do, because it's great music on this Commodore 64 version. Absolutely great stuff. Anyway, I hope you like the video. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and I'll have another video up soon. Take care.